Most people assume that having a small social circle is just bad luck, awkward timing, or something that will magically fix itself later. But when you look a little deeper, that explanation falls apart. Human behavior research suggests that loneliness often isn't random at all. It usually grows from a few consistent mental habits that quietly shape how we interact with others. And if some of these sound familiar, this might finally put words to experiences you've never been able to explain. By the end of this video, you won't just see asterisk why asterisk your social life looks the way it does. You understand why that situation isn't as simple or as negative as it appears from the outside. What looks like distance may actually be a sign of how your mind works, not personal failure. Let's start with something subtle. One common pattern is constantly reviewing social interactions after they happen. Instead of letting conversations end naturally, your mind replays them later, examining tone, timing, and facial expressions. You wonder what each reaction meant or whether something landed the wrong way. This habit comes from being deeply self-aware, which sounds like a strength. But when that awareness is always running in the background, it pulls you out of the moment. People sense when someone isn't fully present, even if they can't explain why. You're not disengaged on purpose, you're mentally observing, while others are emotionally participating. Another factor is having a strong sensitivity to authenticity. You can tell when enthusiasm is forced or when someone is saying what they think the asterisk should asterisk say. Once you notice those things, it's hard to play along. You don't exaggerate reactions or pretend to be impressed just to keep the vibe going. That honesty is valuable. But in everyday social settings where small talk and polite exaggeration are common, it can create distance. Others may misread your calm or quiet response as judgment, even when that's not your intention. If any of this feels familiar, you're definitely not alone. There's also the tendency to handle everything on your own. Many friendships grow through shared struggles, emotional check-ins, and mutual reassurance. But some people are naturally equipped to process challenges internally. They don't vent often. They don't ask for help unless it's absolutely necessary. While this level of independence is often praised, it can unintentionally limit connection. When people don't feel needed or invited into your inner world, they may assume you're fine without them and eventually stop reaching out. Another piece of the puzzle is discomfort. With group thinking, you're not someone who automatically agrees just to maintain harmony. You question norms, notice inconsistencies, and think for yourself. This kind of independence earns respect, but closeness often grows from shared viewpoints and mutual reinforcement. When others bond over agreement, you're more likely to pause and reflect. That difference doesn't make you wrong, it just places you slightly outside the group dynamic. Finally, there's emotional expression. Some people care deeply, but express it in quiet or practical ways. They show up, solve problems, and stay reliable, but struggle to communicate warmth in the moment. When feelings are processed internally, others may not realize how much they matter to you. Over time, that gap can lead to emotional distance, even when the bond itself was genuine. What's important to understand is that these patterns don't appear overnight. They slowly shape relationships through small moments, missed emotional cues, unspoken needs, or choosing honesty over performance. And while that can lead to fewer friendships, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. In many cases, it simply means your mind prioritizes clarity, depth, and authenticity over fitting in. You're not designed for shallow connection, and that naturally narrows the field. The goal isn't to change who you are, it's to understand how you operate. Because once you do, the question stops being what's wrong with me and becomes who actually aligns with me. If you made it this far, it means self-understanding matters to you. And if you want more psychology-based conversations that focus on insight rather than hype, consider subscribing. This channel isn't about surface-level motivation, it's about making sense of how we really work.